Hi everyone, it's me. If you're new here, my name's Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I live here in the UK. And if you're not new here, hey, how's it going? I bought so many ciders and we're gonna try them all. Literally, they've been taking up more than half the space of our fridge. I went out and got the most popular ciders here in the UK. Some are foreign. A lot of them though are domestic. We're gonna try them all, we're gonna compare them, we're gonna have a great time. I can just tell. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, where would you like to start first? How about with one of the most popular brands, and that's this. So we have Thatcher's Gold. Now Thatcher's has so many varieties now, but gold still tends to be the most popular, the most sought after. This is their medium dry Somerset cider. Oh, perhaps, okay, so pause. These are the most popular ciders drunk. These are the most popular ciders that British people drink. But since they're all a little bit different, maybe we'll do like the stats for each cider. So for this one, established 1904, medium dry, 4.8%. Maybe we can kind of compare them that way. As with all bottled taste tests, I will be drinking it out of the bottle. I know that just absolutely kills people. So if that genuinely bothers you, go someplace else. Cheers. Oh God, that is good. A little bit dry. I'd say a little bit more dry than sweet. Sometimes with drinks, I find they're just like too sweet. I've gotten to that age where like things become too sweet. But this is just an all around really tasty, comfortably drunk, comfortably had in a pub garden, at a picnic bench, in the sun, getting a little bit sunburnt. Perfect. I think it's hard to find something better. I'm gonna give the Thatcher's Gold 6 out of 6 medium-sized golden apples. This is just an all-round great cider. I would be very interested if we can find something better than this. Is it possible? We're about to find out. This is obviously done in the name of science. If I put it there, can you guys see it? Can you see that? Next up, let's do this. This is the Bulmers Original Premium Cider. I feel like this one has been around for a long time, and it's still very popular. So some quick stats for Bulmers. Established 1887, 4.5%, and it actually doesn't say whether it's a sweet cider, whether it's a dry or medium dry. We don't have that on this one, so don't ask. Obviously, I think I said earlier, these were all in the fridge. They're all super cold. Oh no. This one clearly was rolling around in my fridge. Well, let's just make sure that gets in the carpet real nice. Where's kitchen roll when you need it? Don't go anywhere. Okay, so Bulmers off to a good start. But really, the carpet probably needed a little bit of cider to soak into it, you know? We've been having like really crazy heat waves here in England. I'm in Kent. It's been hot like crazy. And I feel like the next time a heat wave comes around and this rug will kind of smell like Bulmers. Wonderful. Cheers. Interesting. It is noticeably different. This to me tastes waterier, maybe a little bit more sweet, but in a watered down kind of way, which is weird. I mean, it's not bad. If someone gave this to me, I would drink it, but I wouldn't remember it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not memorable in any way. If anything, it just feels like a little bit watered down for some reason. For Bulmers, I'm gonna be ruthless because I think we have some really heavy hitters today, and this is quite simply not good enough. 1 out of 8 overflowing bottles. So bad to good, worst to best. Words are hard and we've only just started. Next up, how about a foreign one? Ooh, we have this, the Kopparberg Premium Cider, Strawberry and Lime. So this is, I think, the only sort of flavored cider out of the bunch today. This is hugely popular. Kopparberg just in general is very popular, but this flavor You see it absolutely everywhere and people just love it. But I'm curious to see how a flavored one compares to the rest of them that are all technically just like regular ciders. So some quick fire stats. Established in 1882. This is a 4%, and it doesn't say whether it's like a medium dry or whatever because it is strawberry and lime. I guess strawberry and lime is the comparable word. Does that make sense? Oh, you can smell it already. Cheers. You know what? I think I've aged out of the strawberry and lime. It's too sweet. I mean, I would drink it. Again, I would drink it. It's definitely more memorable than the Bulmers. It's not as good as the Thatchers. This I don't really consider to be like a cider flavor because it tastes like juice. It's a nice juice. It's very strawberry and lime. I think lime, if it was more lime, maybe a bit less sweet, a bit more lime, like a bit more tart, I'd have a different reaction, but it is just so sweet. No, this is not my go-to. I'm just too old. Spoiler alert, I have aged out of the flavored ciders, or at least this one. I'm gonna give the Kopparberg, I mean, it's not terrible. It's tasty, but it's not a cider taste. It's not the taste I'm looking for. It's a bit too sweet. Kind of hurts my teeth. It's going to hurt my stomach later. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5.5 bowls of sugar. Moving on. Okay, how about we do something perhaps a little bit controversial, if there is such a thing in the cider world. I mean, drinking from the bottle is controversial enough for a lot of people. Let's do this one. This, of course, is the Strongbow Original Cider. Unbeatable refreshment. Strongbow, I feel like, was one of the only ciders I ever saw in Canada when I still lived in Canada. That was like the only one I feel like that really made it over there. Maybe it's different now because I've been here for so long, but this was like the only one. But interestingly, here it has a completely different connotation. Because I feel like Strongbow now in the UK is considered like the low-end, low-quality, you like Strongbow? Nobody admits that they like Strongbow, and yet it is consistently one of the most popular ciders. Cheers. Okay, so this one tastes watery too. Maybe this one is just so strong. That's fascinating. Thatcher's is so much stronger or so much more flavorful than this that it makes it taste watery. Same with the Bulmers. It tastes watery. It tastes watered down. If I started with this one, maybe it would be different. The baseline would be different. But as it stands, it's just not very enjoyable. So some quick fire stats, if we can find them on the can. The only thing I can see, so I can't see when Strongbow was established. I'm gonna have to give that a Google. It doesn't say what kind of like medium, sweet kind of cider. It doesn't say anything like that. The only thing I can see is this is a 4.5%. But flavor-wise, it is kind of surprising how much like watered down it tastes compared to the Thatchers. And I mean, it's not bad. It's just not really what I'm looking for. This is more flavorful. That is incredible. I'm gonna give the Strongbow 2 out of 12 broken bows. I will also say, if you wanted to do this test yourself, you want to get the most popular ciders. The other one from Strongbow that is super, super popular, and I almost got it, but I only wanted one from each brand, and that is the Dark Fruits one. The purple one. If I was gonna get another cider to add to this, that is one of the most popular. I would have gotten that one. I just didn't want two from the same brand. Do you know what I mean? But Dark Fruits, super popular. That so far is the worst. Aside from British cider, something that I've gotten into since living in the UK is home automation. And our latest item is from Tapo, the sponsor of today's video. Tapo sent us their D235 doorbell, which I've been playing around with for the last couple of weeks. But to be completely honest, we have been a Tapo household like long before they reached out to us. The smart lights in this room are Tapo, and we have them automated. So when you come into the room, like you come into the living room at a certain time of the day, like in the evening, the lights come on. I love it. But the Tapo doorbell has been great for a couple of reasons. The most important thing for me is it has a 6-month battery life. We used to have a video doorbell, different brand, and I was having to charge that like every 2 weeks. It was awful. I don't want to do that. It also has a micro SD card for local storage, so you can avoid expensive monthly subscriptions. And it's reliable in all weather, which I think is pretty important in the UK. It also has smart AI detection and notification, so it can correctly identify cars and people and pets, which will reduce those false alerts. That was tricky to say. Reducing false alerts and unnecessary notifications. And the picture is super clear with 2K resolution and vivid color even in low light. If you want to give it a try yourself, make sure to use my code Alanna10. You're gonna get 10% off your order with Tapo. Anyway, back to this taste test. Let's do something perhaps, I mean, I kind of consider it to be a little bit fancy whenever I see it. I think because the label I find so interesting, and that's this one. Henney's dry cider, made from 100% fresh pressed juice from Herefordshire. There's something about this label that is just like so simplistic. I love it. Don't overflow, buddy. Cheers. That is a completely different taste. I really didn't think these were gonna be like drastically different. I figured strawberry and lime, okay, sure. But this is a totally different flavor profile. That sounds really professional. Flavor profile. But it's true. Okay, a couple of stats. I can't see when Henney's was established. Gonna have to give that a Google. It of course says dry cider right on the front, and it is a 6%. What's pretty cool, a while back I did a video, I don't even remember what I titled it, but I was talking about like protected food, like protected British food and drink. And there's certain food that the UK protects in terms of its like authenticity, and this is one of them. This has the little label on the back, geographic origin UK protected. So this like process, this recipe is protected based on its geographical origin. I'm gonna have to figure out what video that was. I remember it being really interesting. I hope you watched it. Do you remember the video that I'm talking about? It was like a couple of years ago. Anyway, this is great. It's definitely less sweet, of course, a bit more dry. I still prefer Thatcher's Gold, but I appreciate that this has a completely different taste. It's not watered down. It's not like, what's the word? I want to say minimal. It's not the word I want. It's very flavorful. What's the opposite of that? It's not unflavorful. I don't know the word that I want. It's flavorful. Let's just say that. Henney's is going to get 7 out of 7.5 dry apples. Really, really tasty. Love the branding. I know that's not important. I just love what they're doing. Thank you, Henney's. Moving along, let's jump over to Ireland. Uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze and I'm gonna burp at the same time. Anyway, oh, here it comes again. No, I lost it. Let's do this one. Magners, the original Irish cider. This is our only Irish contestant, still very popular here in the UK. It also is the only one today that has like the fancy sort of foiled top for some reason. I like it. It's interesting. It's recognizable. But how do we get it open? Let me in. It does kind of make the experience feel like a bit more fancy, you know, with this top. If you know what's good for you, don't overflow. Cheers. Okay, so got hair on my face. It has a different taste to it. I don't actually really like the taste. Couple of quick fire stats. Established in 1935, which is not recent, and yet this is the most recent date. I want to say all of these were at least like 1800s, like the ones that had a date on it. It doesn't say what kind of like medium, dry, sweet. It's just an Irish cider, and it is 4.5%. For some reason, no offense to the Irish, I don't think any Irish people watch my videos. If you are seeing this, hey, how's it going? Not for me, but still good, okay? Don't hate me. Yeah, it's got like an aftertaste that almost tastes a bit like vitamin E. Like it's got vitamin kind of aftertaste in it. That's just, I don't really like it. But is it worse than some of like the plain weaker ones? Yeah, I'm so sorry. There's something about the aftertaste in this that I do not like. So sorry, Ireland. I'm gonna give this 3 out of 15 lowered Ireland flags. I don't like that. That is really quite surprising. Ireland, I'm so sorry. You're worse than Strongbow. Ugh, embarrassing. Moving right along, let's do this. So this is Scrumpy Jack, premium British, oh, that's hard to say. Premium British cider. Sidman's cider pressures. Nope, pressers. I'm so sorry. Everything is happening all at once. I do appreciate it actually names the type of apples that they use up here on the can. That's fun. Scrumpy Jack, I feel like, is a bit of an older brand, maybe not as popular with young people, but I feel like people of a certain age would recognize this, have drank this off, have had this often. It's a classic. But how does it compare? Cheers. Sweet. This feels very sweet to me. Almost too sweet, actually. Like really sweet. Couple of quick fire stats for Scrumpy Jack. Established, you're never gonna believe this, 1727. That's insane. 100% locally grown British cider apples such as Dabnett and Chisel Jersey, producing a superior tasting crisp cider with a rich fruity aroma. I actually find this too sweet. Oh, and it's 6%. I mean, it's tasty, but I think I might have aged out of this, which is crazy. I'm just like, I'm an old hag. It's too sweet. But is it as sweet as strawberry and lime? Comparable. I think this is a bit smoother than this. Oh my god, this is such an upset. I'm gonna give Scrumpy Jack 4 out of 9 Dabnett and Chisel Jersey cider apples. It's too sweet. It's kind of just got a funny taste. It's not very smooth. I actually prefer the strawberry and lime because it is so smooth and they're like sort of equal sweetness. This is all very scientific. Can you guys see that? We still have a lot more. Next up, I feel like this has become really popular in the last couple of years. I feel like I didn't really see it much when I first moved to the UK, and that's this Inch's Medium Cider made with British apples. I feel like I see this everywhere now. And especially they have those glasses that have like all of these little apple designs on them. That's super cute. But the question remains, how does it compare? Cheers. Different taste, but really nice. This feels sweet, but like naturally sweet. Does that make sense? Crafted in Hereford, we turn all apple waste into renewable energy. Local apples grown within 40 miles of our mill. No artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. So quick fire stats. I can't see anything that says the year of Inches. Oh, down here it says 1924. So the 1900s. In this taste test, pretty recent. So 1924, it is a medium cider and 4.5%. I find this so enjoyable. It's got a really nice flavor. It's a little bit sweet without feeling like sickly sweet. Does any of this make sense? Yeah, this is fabulous. It's so interesting that it has a completely different taste. I think Inches has to get a 5 out of 5. Hereford, isn't it? It's Hereford. I always get that one wrong. 5 out of 5. This, I think, is comparable with my Thatchers. If I move that there, those two are the standouts currently. How are we doing? Are we all alive? I feel like I am teetering on the edge, but we're not done yet. Let's do something that looks a little bit fancy, and that's this. This is the Aspall Draught cider, crisp, medium dry cider with the aroma of fresh green apples. This is definitely the most interesting of all the bottles, although it is comparable in like volume. So this is 500 mils, which is like roughly what these guys are. 568, 440, 500. So like they're the exact same volume, these two. It's just this has like a really fancy shape. Almost more like a wine bottle. Oh. This really shouldn't be one you drink out of the bottle. It feels like I'm drinking out of a wine bottle. Cheers. Nice. This reminds me a lot of the Hennessy's. They're both, I mean, this is medium dry. That one's listed as a dry, but definitely like that drying taste, but very nice. Okay. You know what? I might prefer this to the flavor of a Henney's. They're both, in my mind, dry, but I think I prefer the taste of this one. Couple of quick fire stats. So established 1728. I will never get over that. That's absolutely crazy. This is a medium dry. And what was the other thing that we were ranking? Percentage. This is a 5.5%. I think this is a really nice flavor. If you do not want something that's too sweet, but you want something that has an interesting flavor that is more on the dry side, I really, really like this. I'm gonna burp again. They're all starting to really mix internally. You know when the burp is like at the back of your throat? Let's just ignore it, maybe it'll go away. This is really tasty. It's certainly not as convenient as drinking it like from the bottle like the other ones. Certainly not like the cans because of the shape. I appreciate that they went for something a little bit weird. This is from Suffolk. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 8.5 fresh green apples. 100 green apples that are like 100 plus years old. How long ago was 1728? A long time ago. My Canadian brain does not comprehend a business that old. How's that? Can we see that? I hope so, because it's all the room that I got. And finally, in terms of the most popular ciders here in the UK, perhaps you've guessed it, perhaps you've suggested it already in the comments, and that is this Henry Westons medium dry vintage cider. Super popular, super loved, and also super dangerous because this is an 8.2%, but more on that in a hot minute. Cheers. This has such a different taste. I really didn't think the non-flavored ones would have that much like noticeable difference. Completely different flavor. Really flavorful. In my mind, I picture like bright red apples. I don't know why, but it's like that kind of flavor. So some quick fire stats. Established in 1880. This one in particular is a medium dry, and like I mentioned earlier, it is an 8.2%. For a cider, that is diabolical, and it's delicious. This is definitely in the top 3 for me. I'm gonna give this, oh God, Henry, how do I rate you? Smooth and rounded finish. That is 100% accurate. It is so smooth and tasty. Medium dryness, but also still a bit sweet. This is gonna get a 9 out of 9 bearded Henrys. But the question remains, I think out of our top 3, those are very difficult. We're gonna go to the finale, the final round. I'm making this up as we go along. Before we finish the full ranking, these for me are my top 3. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? Gold, Inches, Weston. We have to decide on a final ranking. Okay. Okay. I was gonna edit today. After filming this, I literally was gonna edit. Who thought that was a good idea? You know what? I almost dropped that. I am really quite shocked. Are you guys still watching? Thank you so much for being here. I love doing taste tests, and it means so much to me that I get to do this and share it with you guys. If you have a British taste test that you think I should do, please leave a comment down below. I'm having a wonderful time. I hope you like this video. And I have come up with my final thoughts, and I'm actually pretty shocked by this. These are my winners. They're both very different from each other. This has a beautiful, like, light red apple taste. This is a bit heavier, a little bit drier, but like such a complex flavor. These are the best ciders in the UK, my opinion. Now, if I put these here, will I knock them over? That's a good question. Now, in terms of the final ranking, this is what we've got so far. God. So sorry. Now, personal opinion, obviously, but do let me know, out of this like lot, what is your favorite? If you could pick one, I can't pick one, so maybe if you can pick 2. These are tied, these are so good. But in terms of here, Thatcher's Gold is still ahead. It's really tasty, but the flavor isn't as interesting as those 2. Then we have the Aspall and Henney's. These are really nice, dry, not too sweet, interesting flavor, very tasty. Then we have the 2 sweets, both of these ones. 2 sweet, but interesting, still enjoyable. I'd still drink them if someone gave them to me, but I wouldn't go out of my way to order them myself. Then we have Bulmers and Strongbow, like watery, which is so weird. Not very flavorful. And finally, in kind of a surprise development, I don't really like Magners. It has like a weird sort of vitamin taste to it. It's not for me. This has been really fun. I've always really enjoyed ciders, but I never really knew, like, when I go to a pub and I see like a big stack of all different types of ciders, I've never really known which ones to order because I feel like in my mind, they all kind of taste similar. I do not have that opinion anymore. These are by far so good. They do not have the right to be so good. And now I know when I go out, if I see these, this is what I'm ordering. Maybe both at the same time. No, not both at the same time. This is literally 8.2%. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was fun. Don't forget to check out Tapo, link in the description. We're a Tapo family. I really like their stuff, so if you want to get involved in that, make sure to use my link, my code, get yourself a discount. If you've lasted this long and you would like to watch more, which honestly would mean so much to me, in case you're not aware, if you watch a full video from a creator and then you go on and you watch another one of their videos, that is a huge signal to YouTube that you liked their content, you liked that video, it was a good video. So just throwing that out there. If you would like to watch something else, how about this one? I taste tested British beers. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye! I am gonna need a nap. God, that is so good.